John Renken has competed in over 60 professional mixed martial arts and boxing matches throughout his career. He has reached the pinnacle of his sport with multiple world championships and first-place titles spanning 3 different continents. John is now the owner and chief instructor at the Clarksville Mixed Martial Arts Academy in Tennessee. Since retiring, John has focused his energy on training future mixed martial arts champions of tomorrow. What many outsiders don't realize is that the school doubles as the home of Extreme Ministries, where Pastor John Renken delivers poignant sermons to his faithful following every Sunday. Often referred to as a blood sport, mixed martial arts popularity continues to rise at an astronomical pace, but remains a source of controversy due to the barbaric and often gruesome nature of the sport. Many might see a contradiction in a man of God endorsing such a violent sport. But to the contrary, John Renken's success in the martial arts world has strengthened his pursuit of faith and has allowed him the opportunity to help others.
John Renken, head instructor, owner of Clarksville Mixed Martial Arts Academy.
John to me is a mentor, he's a coach, he's a pastor, and on top of that, all of that, he's a friend.
I've known John since about 1999. I can say that probably the last 7 years I've been good friends with him. Initially I met him through the combatives program.
Well, I've been involved in martial arts for over 15 years. So I started when I was 15, so 36 now, so almost 20 years, 21 years or whatever it's been. And I mean, basically I got my butt kicked in school, and so I went to go learn how to fight, and that's where I'm at, That started me down the path of doing Kung Fu, and then when the UFC came out, I automatically dumped everything I knew and started training for that eventuality, and so that's been a 20-year process.
When I first came up here, I didn't have a job. I had quit my job to come up here and train full-time to come pro. So I was financially, really struck. And he found a construction job for me to work for, talked to the guy personally, put his stamp of approval on me, like this guy will work,
John's a primary instructor out at 5th Special Forces Group for teaching the combatives program. He also oversees the entire program for Fort Campbell. He's the only civilian qualified level 4 for the combatives program here in Clarksville, and he's a subject matter expert for both the 101st and our unit.
When I first started out, I was training them for free, So yeah, here's the bottom line, I've got over, between myself and the other guys like me across the Army, we have over 1,000 cases where soldiers have had to use what we're teaching them in combat to save their life. And the bottom line is at the end of the day, yeah, the money's nice and makes mom happy and I can feed my kids. But at the end of the day, the stuff that we're teaching is actually saving their lives with over 1,000 cases to document it.
The guy's got so much energy. He's doing everything that he can. He's helping his church, he's helping his family, he's helping others, he's helping, children, other members of the community, and of course the military. I had my first mixed martial arts fight after I'd become a Christian and got out of the Army and was in Bible college. I would actually say that mixed martial arts is really one leg of the journey that the Army started for me, which was that, even growing up, I was always the fighter, I was always the scrapper, I was always the one that was out for the physical challenge. And, when I joined the Army, those type of things kind of were brought to the front. And then when I really felt like God was pulling me out of the Army to pursue college and get a degree in ministry and then to start the ministry that we started here, I think that mixed martial arts was really the tail side of that journey, which was that I'm a competitive person by nature. I like challenge, I like adversity, I like difficulty, and I just can't imagine too much more being difficult than being in a cage with one other guy and you guys are going to town until one of you wins.
A lot of people who are in the Bible were fighters, were soldiers, and I draw a lot of comparisons with those.
Discipline, I think, really is the foundation for a lot of what we do here. But I say this because other people have a false concept of what discipline is.
When I have parents come here and they ask me, are you going to teach my son discipline? Well, the answer is yes, but it's not going to be the way you think. Because the bottom line is I only get 2 days a week with that kid. So he'll be respectful when he steps on the mat with me, but that doesn't mean he's going to be respectful when he gets home with you because you let him get away with murder. Yes, in 2 days' time, I can teach your kid to respect you at home. Hey! Now squat and throw. Throw, Ian. Go, 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 go. We teach discipline through fighting. These kids fight on a weekly basis. I mean, they're always scrapping, they're always fighting, they're always brawling, they're always doing those things. And the discipline and the self-respect and the respect of others comes because I fight all the time. And what happens is they begin to develop a respect for other people through fighting. Because today you whoop my butt. And tomorrow this kid over here whooped my butt. But I beat these two over here. And so what happens is through this process of fighting, there's this meshing going on of what real discipline is. Not the discipline that they stand at attention and call me yes sir, even though those things are important in their proper context. But it's that through fighting, through aggression, through competition, through the things that we're teaching them, they actually learn a more holistic way of discipline, which is that because they respect themselves of their hard training, they begin to respect other people, and then it affects their grades, it affects their relationship with their parents, and it really begins to affect every area of their life. And we see the same thing, for the adults. I probably is a walking oxymoron to the rest of culture, but especially for young men, they need an outlet for the things that are already inherently in us as men. It's not evil, it's not bad, it's just we're men and we need physical expression, we need outlets for that. And if we don't have it and we get around the wrong influences, then it becomes bad. Gang violence. I think the answer to gang violence is productive violence. Stuff that they do in here in the gym. Sparring, hitting on the bags. They have to have somewhere to channel that stuff, otherwise it will come out in the wrong way. So really you need two things there, and I think that we provide both of them. One is a godly example of what it really means to be a man, because that nonsense that's going on all around the place is not what it means to be a man. And then you need an outlet for that expression of aggression, a place where it's healthy, a place where it's understood and put in its proper context. And the bottom line is that gang violence and beating each other up in school and all that other stuff is not the right outlet. It's not the right experience, and it gets you in a lot of trouble. The idea of being a role model is a very positive thing, because what it's doing is allowing me to make a difference in a kid's life so that I can take over the world for Jesus through that kid, And my kids understand that, and my kids in there understand that, and they're being taught that. They're being taught what it means to respect and to honor, what it means to be a man, and how we treat women, and some of that other stuff that they're not getting from other areas in life. And so I like the title role model, coach, role model, sensei, any of these things that they call me, I'm good with, because what that means is I have influence in their life to change the direction of their life. And this is why it's so important to not only have good role models, but we have to have good parents, because our children become who we are. I just finished up a marriage series in our church, Why Marriage Matters. And if I teach my children that I don't have to love my wife and I can do whatever I want and I can beat her, then my children will grow up and that's the way they'll be. Conversely, if my wife, does those things at home, my daughter will be raised to think that that's the way she treats a husband. So we have to role model on several levels as parents. I have to role model here as a coach and what it means to be a respectable person in the community, what it means to role model discipline, all those different type of things. From 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock, I am a terrorist on the mat. I mean, I make them do anything and everything. And I mean, I tell the parents right up front, I will break your child in class to rebuild them into what I want them to be, which is national champion. We just had national championships this weekend and we took home 10 national champions. There's nobody else doing that kind of stuff, And part of the reason why is because when they're on the mat, they're my kids, they're not your kids. And I let them know that right up front. These are my kids from 5 to 6, you be quiet, And then I treat the kids that way too. I'm in their stuff all the time, making them do the things, making them compete against each other, making them fight, no crying, no whining, no, And so through that, it's a total tearing down and rebuilding and then making them into the people that we want them to be. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I could care less if they win national championships in the context of, are they becoming a better person?
And I think the way they become a better person is through the training that makes them a national champion.